Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for coming to see us. I'm very honoured that you'd be here. Camila, you were just in Italy. You were at the Venice Film Festival.
Yes, I was.
Your first time there. Look, we have a picture of you here.
Oh,
you
wow.
look absolutely incredible on this here red
you.
carpet. It's a triumph.
Thank you.
How was it, though? I think it was your first time there, right? Was it good? What did you see? What did you do?
First time in Venice. I was there with Armani Beauty. Just doing, you know, red carpet things. I went to the premiere of Bones and All.
Which is the Chalamet.
Yes, the Chalamet movie. And
How was it?
It was great. I mean, I watched it on an empty stomach. I was so, like, you know, running around all day, so I was super busy, and I didn't get to eat dinner. And then I realized it's a movie about cannibalism. So the whole time I'm watching them, you know, eat human flesh. And I didn't have anything in my stomach, so that was fun.
But people loved it, no?
No, yeah, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful movie. It's a love story about. Yeah.
It sounds hilarious. Yeah.
It's a beautiful metaphor.
I mean, Bradley, the Emmy Awards were tonight. You've won a fair few in your time. Do you enjoy award shows? Do you enjoy the parties? Are you going to go out tonight?
Honestly, no. Our show isn't up, and it's kind of a great relief. I mean, they're wonderful. They're kind of weird because it's like a human dog show where someone comes out at the end and says, you know, the poodle's better than the schnauzer, and you go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you do them, and it's like anyone will tell you. Obviously, we're not working in a coal mine, and we're not school teachers, we're not nurses, but all this silly publicity stuff is exhausting. And a couple of years ago, it wasn't the Emmys, it was the Oscars. I happened to be in 2 movies that got nominated the same year, which was insane. The Post and Get Out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to all these, you get to go to all these panels and you talk about it, and I was shooting something and I was flying around, and I had been sick, and we did 2 all-nighters. And then the final thing is the Independent Spirit Awards, and they pick you up early in the day before the Oscars, and I didn't feel good. And it was it's this really long thing, and at the very end of it, Get Out won, and it was a predictor for who might win the Oscars.
Yeah.
And there was this huge press thing, and I called Amy because there's this big night before party, which is very mysterious. There's no press. Thank God, that'll pay off later. And I called Amy and I said, man, I gotta get the tux, but I don't feel good. I don't feel, and she said, we don't have to go. And I said, no, we have to go. Like, the swag bag's supposed to be, like, incredible. So I don't feel good. We go, I walk in and I realize immediately, I don't feel good. And I go, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. And Amy's like, we can go. And I see across the room, I said, there was Jon Hamm and Walton Goggins. And I know, yeah, I just dropped a name or 2.
No, Jon Hamm. It's a great name to drop.
So, okay, well, you'll like this. So I go, I said, let me just say goodbye to them. That's the last thing I remember. I wake up, my wife is screaming, and Jon Hamm, lovely Jon Hamm, is going, you're gonna be fine. A very handsome man just caught you. and he starts saying over and over, and I can't talk. I really can't. They try to get me up, I fall down again, and Jon goes, this happened to my dad all the time. This happened to my dad all the time. This happened to... Now, I don't know Jon well. All I know about him is this, really about his life, is an interview on NPR with Terry Gross, where I vaguely remember, and I still can't talk, I vaguely remember that one of his parents tragically died when he was young, which was like the seminal event in his life. And he keeps saying to me while I can't talk, this happened to my dad all the time. This happened to my dad all the time. So an ambulance comes in, they put me on a gurney, they're pushing me out, I'm on a gurney, swear to God, reached for the swag bag, missed it. My wife is terrified, like, you know, I'm of a certain age where you can expire at any moment. And we get into the ambulance, and I'm just, like, beginning to be able to talk. And I'm like, Google Jon Hamm. And she's like, what, sweetie, what? And I'm gonna Google Jon Hamm. She's like, what? I'm gonna Google Jon Hamm. And she's like, Google Jon Hamm? I'm like, yeah, Google it. And I'm like, his family, what happened to his family? I swear to God, I'm in the ambulance, and she says, well, it says his mother died when he was like in middle school or something. And I'm like, yes! Just horrible. Absolutely horrible. I've never told this publicly, so I hope Jon isn't upset. Like the tragedy of losing a parent, I can't imagine. But I was relieved. The great thing is there's no press there, and the rumors started going around that John Slattery had fainted. So, and I was just completely dehydrated. It was like that, it wasn't anything. I was just sick and dehydrated.
Wow.
So you got to be careful.
You've got to be careful at these things.
Yeah.
You've got to hydrate.
Hydrate, kids.
I mean, Camila, you spent some time. You were in my neck of the woods. You were in London this summer.
Yes.
How did you get on there? Did you enjoy being in the city?
I did. I didn't get to really explore much because I was shooting a movie and we were working 6-day weeks, so Sundays were my only day off. But I did spend a lot of time watching one of my favorite UK shows. Do you know Naked Attraction?
Oh, do I ever? Yeah.
Do you guys know Naked Attraction?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's like maybe the best dating show to ever exist.
Try and explain to people who don't know what it is, what's so unique about it.
Okay, it's like maybe the best and worst thing at the same time because it's incredibly objectifying, but also very liberating. Basically, there's like 5 contestants and they're all standing behind these pods, and the pods slowly, come up, and everyone's naked, like
completely
fully
naked,
and you see everything.
Yeah.
It's like Channel 4. That's like
Channel 4. There's no pixelating, nothing. At one point, the thing is here, and there's just people looking at private parts
and
of someone that they might date.
The one looking for love goes down the aisle and takes a good look at everything, and we'll be like, this person's got to go.
Yeah, and they get eliminated. Just on their private parts.
And then the next phase is like torso area, and then it's face, and then it's voice, and then I think the last one is like a question or something.
And then the last one, that the person who is deciding has to then come out naked.
Yes, and then they
stand in front of each other naked. Yeah.
And then the most awkward part is when they have to go on a date later, and the camera crew follows them to this date, but they have pretty much nothing to say to each other.
Because they've seen everything.
They've seen it
all. Are you
all.
familiar with this show at all, Bradley?
No, I was up for it, but I'm not a big enough star.
Now, Camila, we've got to congratulate you on your new movie, Do Revenge. For anyone who doesn't know, tell us what it's about and who you play.
I play a girl named Drea Torres, whose sex tape gets leaked by her boyfriend at the time. I'm doing a terrible job explaining this. Basically, her and her friend make a revenge pact to get revenge on the people who screwed them.
So you play a high school student in the film.
Yes.
You're also a high school student in Riverdale.
Yes.
At what point do you think that you might...
I'm done.
You might get to graduate.
It's done.
When do you think you'll graduate?
We're not doing high school roles anymore. This is the last one. But I'm going out with a bang. It's a really fun one.
It's a great one.